Hey guys, what is up? It is Dan. Welcome back to Guitar Talk. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, roll that intro. What is up everyone? Today we are looking at the Fender O'Briens Signature Stratocaster. So checking out the body specs on this, it's a little bit of a mix of traditional and cool modern gadgets. So you've got, as you would expect, older body, volume, two tones, 5-way switch, 3-ply scratch plate, Fender tremolo system, you know, all those traditional things. And then when you get to the pickups, you've got a JB Junior little mini humbucker in the bridge, Texas Special in the middle position, and then in the neck you've got this really cool Fernandez sustainer system with the controls down here for an on-off switch, and then a switch so you can control the octave as well. Checking out the back of the body, we've got a cool engraved neck plate. You've got the cavity for the trem system. Here's where all the electronics are for the sustainer system. And you've got a 9-volt battery as well, which the guitar runs on because obviously it's got all this electronic circuitry. Checking out the specs at the neck, we have got a urethane satin finish with a rather large V-neck profile. We've got a 9.5-inch radius, 25.5-inch scale, 21 tool thin frets, vintage style tuners, and obviously maple neck, maple fretboard. So as mentioned, the neck is quite a large V-shaped profile. It's Fender's 1056 V-shaped profile, which feels like a big oversized C shape with a little bit more of a point at the back. It's quite big and sits quite snugly in the palm of my hand. It's a lot bigger than I'm used to on Fender style instruments, but you know, some people may find this comfortable. It's not quite for me, but you know, it's certainly an individual neck shape. In terms of how the neck feels with the satin finish, it's not the most smooth neck I felt. It's quite smooth, but where you've got the satin urethane on there, you can definitely feel there's still something on there that when you've been playing it for a little bit, your hand tends to stick to it. So how does this play out of the box? Maybe it's just the strings that Fender put on these. I mean, this would be the second guitar this week that I've tried out with the Fender strings on, but I've really struggled to keep this in tune. You know, that might just be a simple string change that will remedy that, but in terms of straight out the box, it's been a little bit of a fight. Action-wise, the action on this is set really nicely. It's quite low. Obviously, it's not Ibanez low, which you don't want when you've got something like a sustainer, because you want that bit of clearance to let the strings vibrate whilst the sustainer's working. So it does play quite nicely, but it's just the strings, hopefully the strings, that are just letting it down. So in terms of the sounds that this pulls off, this is where the guitar really shines. So the most glaringly obvious thing that it's got is the sustainer system. If you're not familiar with what the sustainer system does, it's like an active magnet. So when you flick this switch, the strings start vibrating with the magnet, pulling on them. So it just means that you can get infinite sustain out the strings. And then with this control switch here, you can change the octave of the sustain that's coming out as well. Obviously, you've got that classic bluesy Texas special pickup in the middle. And then in the bridge, you've got that rocking JB Junior Seymour Duncan that allows you to get some big distorted tones out of this as well. So as I said, the sounds that you can get out of this thing in terms of flexibility, that's where this guitar for me really shines. So in terms of the finish out of the box, I mean, I've already mentioned the strings. I mean, I'll be honest, I always want to be honest. I don't just want to do like cool reviews, bigging everything up. This is a bit of a letdown for me. I was really excited about this model, but there's just stuff like, it's a gloss headstock and then it's supposed to be a satin back, but the gloss is spilled over on here. It's on the back of the headstock, just on the end there as well. So, you know, I hope all of the models aren't like this, but it just seems like this one slipped through quality control, which, as I say, is a real shame because I've been really looking forward to this model. And I just, you know, I want to be honest with you guys and just let you know what's come out of the box. Another weird thing as well is it looks like the box has come straight from Fender, but there's tape on the guitar, where obviously when they've packaged up the guitar in the wrap that it comes in, they've not really taken a lot of care. So, you know, it's just a little bit of a letdown there where finish straight out of the box comes into play. So obviously Ed is the guitarist for Radiohead, and in terms of the sounds he needs to get out of his guitar, there's like this huge range of sounds that they do. If you are not a Radiohead fan or you haven't listened to them before, I recommend you go check them out. Some of the tones that they get out of guitars to make big ambient sounds, it's completely unreal. And so, you know, in terms of what he needs to get that job done, with all the options that this provides, I can certainly see how this would be really useful. So I guess that's it for this review. You know, it's not an overly long review on this one. You can get loads of sounds out of this guitar. That stuff is really cool. you know, big rock tones, ambient tones. You can get those bluesy tones. It does everything. That stuff is really cool. But it's just the rest of the guitar, I hope the rest of them are better, but this particular one that we've been sent is just a bit of a letdown. Why don't you let me know what you think in the comments below? And like I said, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. I always want to try and be honest with you guys about the guitars that we see. So yeah, like I said, let me know what you think. Other than that, I'll see you in the next video. Bye.